Hello you guys and welcome to our channel. Today is actually April the 24th, 2017, and this is another week, another episode. I haven't did an episode in at least 2 weeks because it was my birthday on the 20th of this month. I turned 32, and I've been sick as well. So this is a new video, a new episode, and today's episode is going to be about how to use a pendulum. This is for people that are starting off trying to learn how to use a pendulum. It's really not a lot to it. It's just a matter of being able to assess the energy, being able to feel the energy. And because the pendulum does everything itself, it has its own energy. Whatever crystal whatever crystal you have, you might have a crystal pendulum, or you might have just a regular pendulum. It doesn't have to be a crystal, but whatever crystal you have, it has its own energy as well. So certain pendulums are good for certain things, like amethyst pendulums, are good to ask healing questions, or are good to actually use over people with healing. This right here is a moonstone pendulum, and I bought this pendulum. It just came to me. Actually, when you pick a crystal, as anyone already know, when you pick a crystal or you pick a pendulum inside of a store, it has to actually talk to you. So this pendulum came to me. I was in the store, I felt its energy, and I was drawn to this pendulum. So the moonstones are really known for twin flames. They're known for protection, and so I guess that's why I was drawn to it. With that being said, I will show you how I use a pendulum. A few rules. Depends on what type of pendulum you have, what type of crystal you have. If you have a crystal pendulum, make sure, do your research on if the pendulum or the crystal actually needs to be cleansed from time to time. Because sometimes they would need to be cleansed, and certain crystals would need moonlight, and some would need actual sunlight, and some you can do the whole thing, or you can even do you can even clean it with water. But yeah, so anyways, I forget what I was going to say. Completely blank for a minute. I'm sorry. But this is how you go by using a pendulum. I first started using the pendulum a few months ago, probably about a year ago maybe. I haven't used it in a while, but the same rule still applies. If you know anything about the energy in the pendulum, then you will be able to know if it's giving you a yes or no. So what I used to do when I started off doing a reading with a pendulum, I would have like a sheet of paper that said yes and no. You don't have to have a sheet of paper, but if you're starting off, if you want to be more organized, you can. I would do a sheet of paper that says yes and no, and I would put like a line down the middle, and I would put yes right here, no right there. Now, some answers with a pendulum you will not always get a yes or no. Some answers are more complicated, so you might be a maybe. So sometimes I would put like a maybe. It just depends on whatever I feel like my soul is telling me to do when I'm doing it, reading it day, if I need to put maybe on the paper. And sometimes you'll get a maybe, and that's where it comes in, when you need to learn how to answer with your own intuition. Ask your spirit guides, what's the answer? If it's more complicated, what is the answer? Help try to find the black and white and the gray of whatever the question is. But this right here is my pendulum, and the way I would go by doing it, I'm sorry, actually dropped it. The way I would go by doing it is I would start off by asking my spirit guides to make sure I'm in sync with my pendulum. I would also ask my pendulum, are you ready for this reading? And I would say, give me a strong yes or a strong no, and whatever direction it goes in or whatever, that's when it's telling you it's ready. So if you get a yes, it's thumbs up, it's time to go. If you get a no, that might mean it's time for your pendulum to be cleansed. You might need to put it in the sunlight. You might need to actually do energy healing. You might need to do a visualization healing. Cleansing. I'm sorry. Visualization cleansing. You might need to actually do moon cleansing or the sun cleansing, whatever crystal you have. Go by whatever crystal you have. So for me to actually do this crystal, I would have to do it's a moonstone. I would have to heal. I would have to cleanse it with the moon energy. Excuse me. Okay. I would have to cleanse it with the moon energy. So yeah, last time I cleansed it with on the full moon, so it's cleansed and it's ready to go. Before I started this video, I asked it, was it ready to go, and it said yes, so it's ready to go. So you will go by, you can answer these questions out loud. They can be to yourself. They can be even mentally, because it's an energy thing. You don't have to say the words out loud. But you would ask the pendulum, first I would start off with something that you already know, like, is my name Gabrielle? And then once I do that, I would say, strong yes, if my name is Gabrielle. Strong no if my name is not Gabrielle. So let's do that right now. So as you can see, I am just making sure it's still. My fingers are not moving. And I'm going to ask the pendulum, is my name Gabrielle? Strong yes or strong no? Yes, left. And as you can see, it's moving left. Now on the screen, actually, because the way the phone is, it might seem the opposite direction, but you get my drift. And it's the whole thing about it. You're not moving it. Don't feel that you are moving it. You can tell when your hand is moving it. It's the energy. This crystal, this pendulum has its own energy. The way it's made, the shape of the pendulum, all that matters. The crystal that's used on there, if it's a crystal, all that matters. So it's moving. It has its own mind. It has its own energy. Crystals are really good for pendulums because they cross that battle. They cross in between worlds. They're not dead or they're not alive. Scientifically, crystals aren't dead or alive. So they're in between. So they cross between worlds. So yes. So as you can see, it's simple as that. I mean, it's a thing of, if it's not working for you and you think that you're doing it or your hand is moving, just trust your intuition, trust your spirit guides, trust your pendulum. Your pendulum is your friend. If you're starting off doing readings and you're doing pendulum readings, your pendulum is your friend. Get used to it, get to know your pendulum, get to know your crystals like you do your other crystals. And you can also make pendulums out of other materials as well, but I've never had one. I've only had the actual crystal pendulum itself. They come in different colors, different crystals, different designs. Sometimes they have multiple crystals stacked up. I've seen some with different the chakra system on it, and they're good for also healing as well. Sorry, they're good for healing as well. So you can actually, if you're doing a healing session on someone, you can heal them with the crystal energy of the pendulum. You can also do healing on yourself as well. Now one thing I will say, if you're doing a reading, I would not have my pendulum like directly over the computer, because inside of computers, inside of cell phones, and I know this from my own personal experience because I'm crystalline, so I tend to interfere with different technology, and because they have crystal particles inside of them, so I would not use my pendulum directly over a telephone or directly over the computer, because it will start going haywire, it start going different directions, you might be getting the wrong answer, and you don't want that. You just don't want all the interference. So you don't have to be, you can do a video like this and you can have it directly, close to you, but I wouldn't have it directly in front of it or on it. So, but this is the way you actually, it's simple as this to use a pendulum. It's not a lot to it. You just have to be able to trust yourself, trust your guides, and trust your pendulum, and know that you're getting the right answers. And then after that, I would start off, after you ask your question that you know the answer to, then I would start asking questions, on different subjects or whatever. I would start off doing, don't be afraid, do reading for people. I've done reading for people, and with my pendulum before, and had readings, all of them right. Then I've had some that was wrong. That's how sometimes when it's time for your pendulum to be cleansed. And then sometimes it's just you probably need to give it a break. If you've been doing a lot of readings with them, you might need to give it a break and cleanse it, and buy another pendulum. Use different pendulums for different things. If you're doing one that's you're asking a lot of love questions, like I only have this one, but I'm going to get some more because I actually do love them. I haven't used it in a while, but I think I'm gonna start by doing some pendulum readings. I don't use it that much now because I use my own intuition, and I try to listen more to my spirit guides, and I've started doing tarot readings, and I want to do more so relying on myself than actually using something else. But it's nothing wrong with having the knowledge of using a pendulum or having the knowledge of doing tarot cards or whatever like that. So I'm dabbling in different little things or whatever, but I will do a video today after this video, a card reading of the week, so you can have direction for this week. I'm going to get some new cards. I'm going to do some new readings. I'm going to do some twin flame readings coming up once I get my new deck, hopefully sometime soon. And so yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, if I didn't address anything, or if you have some more questions, just leave a comment at the end, and I will be happy to answer your question. Also, make sure you follow our Facebook page. Make sure I will put the link at the end of this video. Make sure you like our actual website, and just go and check us out. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and you guys have a lovely day. Goodbye.